Good evening, City of Irvine. My name is Rosemary Tapia, serving the community at my third Ralph's Irvine location, and proudly to be with the company for the last 32 years. Since the beginning of this unforgiving pandemic, it has been a whirlwind of struggle, of fear for not only myself, but for many of my fellow coworkers. As my title as price integrity, I am constantly on the sales floor, and the amount of times that customers who do not wear their mask properly come close range of me while I'm trying to keep my distance from them is countless. In early December, I did come up in contracting the virus. Unfortunately, it brought it home to my family, which almost led to hospitalization of my husband. The cases at my locations are still rising and leading into big issues of being understaffed, and others are starting to feel the fatigue from it. But we're still striving to serve the community with excellence and with the strength that the whole pandemic is affecting us workers. While the companies are profiting more during this time, let us not forget who keeps running these stores. This temporarily hazard pay is very necessary because at the end of all, we're putting ourselves out there, risking not only our health, but the health of our loved ones that we go home to. Thank you for taking your time to listen.
Hello, my name is Eric Almaguer. I started working for Pavilions on Portola in Irvine 5 months ago. Since then, many of my coworkers have caught COVID-19. One of my coworkers and both of his parents died from the virus in December. I've watched my coworkers grieve at work for the loved ones they've also lost. We wear a mask, we take precautions when we go home to our loved ones, and even with all these steps, we're still exposed and risking our lives. It's sad to see there are still customers who come into our store refusing to wear masks, approaching us face to face, failing to care for the safety of workers and our families. This type of behavior is what we encounter daily. I've had to fill in at stores nearby because more workers continue to get sick and are understaffed. Every day I ask myself if today will be my turn. Working under these conditions is made even worse by the lack of vaccinations for us workers. I thank you for listening. I'm an essential grocery worker, and I ask that you support this ordinance.
Hello, City Council members. My name is Melissa Ritchie. I work for Pavilions in Irvine. We are still dealing with a large number of people who are confrontational. Last week we've had people throw things at us and spit on us. We just want some help. We are overworked still. Any time someone is sick, we're picking up extra hours, and we're doing it with a smile on our face to serve our community. We would greatly appreciate you voting us and helping us out with this hazard pay. Thank you.
You know, at the start of this pandemic, and for some time, there's been a lot of talk about shared sacrifice. This is about shared sacrifice. Well, the fact of the matter is the risk, the sacrifice, it's not shared. It's not shared equally. It's very disproportionately falling upon the poor, the frontline workers, who happen to be, incidentally, disproportionately non-white. And I think it's time to kind of ask ourselves, are we really committed to shared sacrifice? And are we really committed to ameliorating the pain and suffering that's out there? What kind of a community are we? This is a local ordinance. What kind of a community are we? And I think the adoption of this ordinance says volumes about the kind of community we are and whether we really mean what we say about shared sacrifice and also about our commitment to, as we adopted a resolution when we last met, diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is about the equity part. This is straight on a test of our commitment to the equity part of our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I support this motion. I support this ordinance. I happen to believe also we may not be sued here. I think I think if there is an inclination to sue, a knee-jerk reaction to sue, I would suggest that these big box grocers and others take a good hard look at themselves and a good hard look at what we would think of them in Irvine if they would force us to defend this ordinance. Thank you very much, Mayor.